Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, the romantic fairy, and I'm here with your October reading. And I'm sorry it took me a couple of days into October because I just needed to do a lot of cleaning and sorting and decorating and pulling out my decorations. So hopefully you like it, and we're gonna get into the reading. We have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is Jack Skellington. I'm a Skellington kind of gal. And yes, there is from The Nightmare Before Christmas, Jack Skellington with the Skull of Stars. Pile 2 is Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, they're iridescent. How pretty. I just now noticed that. And the Skull of Flowers. And number 3 is the little ghost dog. What's his name? Zero. And what does he say? Okay, nothing. It's from Nightmare Before Christmas, and always a fun show to watch during this season. And then we have the Skull of Light, and there's a mystery card underneath each one, so it's like a second card from the Halloween Oracle. Definitely a must-have. Every year I use it. So we'll be looking at love and career and money and spirit guidance and things like that. I was thinking of maybe doing more of a love reading for the month of October, since it's mostly Libra season, but maybe I'll just do a separate one for that. Towards the end of the month, it's Scorpio season, and so it's gonna get very creepy and very mysterious. So might as well just go there right now. All right, so we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and I hope you pick the pile that's calling you. Let's go ahead and breathe to feel into it. Ready? All right, take a deep breath in through your nose. Close your eyes, release your breath through your lips. Now open your eyes and let them be drawn to the pile that's calling you. Let's begin. And you picked pile number 1 with Jack Skellington. Hello, Jack. What's going on? Alright, we'll put him over there. Let's take a look at the cards that you chose. Well, you chose the Skull of Stars, and your mystery card is the Black Cat. Now, Pumpkin wants to get in on this. She has been lurking about, so I'm going to go get Pumpkin for you so you can see my baby girl, who is she's my familiar, and she's my baby. They didn't believe me. She didn't believe me. She's like, hello. She has something to say. The new kittens are running about, which makes me not want to do this. Okay, Pumpkin, thank you. Yes. She's pretty nice and patient with them now. She used to hiss at them all the time, but now she's even played with Luke before. But anyway, I digress. All right, so the Skull of Stars. The skulls are one of my favorite images, whether it's Halloween or just biology. I love the skulls. I love skeletons. All right, Skull of Stars represents infinite possibilities. Why think so small when galaxies spin within? I'm totally down with this. Realize that you are made of the stuff of stars, and infinite possibilities begin. This skull brings us back to the fact that we're all made of the stuff of stars, yet many of us think so small. We are each born with a blank canvas to paint upon, and we are indeed an open sky of possibilities. It is easy to feel small in a world that is so busy and personal and seemingly self-absorbed. We can at times feel lost and unclear about our direction and lose sight of our place in the cosmos. The Skull of Stars reminds us Hello, and this is Leia. The Skull of Stars reminds us that we are only limited by our own imagination and boundaries. If we can dream it, it is possible. And this card also tells you that you need to think bigger and more broadly about your future and what you would like to achieve. So maybe you have false beliefs, sometimes old ones. I just realized today, I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I notice this before? These false beliefs. Like, I knew the one about, you know, you can't be sexy if you're chubby or whatever. That one I like let go of long ago, you know. But there's other ones that's like, you can't do this unless this, you know. And now I'm just thinking, no, silly, you can do anything. You don't. Why are you putting that belief, still holding on to that one? So remember the things that you. These little programmed ideas in your head that you still cling to that seem sort of irrelevant, you know? Irrelevant. All right. Yeah, and there might not even be yours. They may have been imparted to you by your parents or some old person or young person or somebody who just was very, like, set in their ways. And a lot of religious stuff is like that, too. And there's nothing wrong with it. It just really gets us too stuck in a certain stuck. It just gets us stuck and not lets us explore the possibilities, and it's infinite. So maybe you need to endeavor with all of your heart and soul to live the life you want and honor your own wishes and truth. Right? Yes, you do. And so the black cat is kind of maybe this is the thing that you always believed. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it's an example of how poor cats got a bad rap. The black cat is the feminine, the fortune meets opportunity. So this is you guys having a very fortunate month. And you know what? Just because, you know, the stars are this way or that way or the other thing or that thing doesn't mean you can't be fortunate. Anyone is allowed to find their fortune this month. Sleek and black and lantern-eyed crosses your path with a hiss. Good luck and fortune sweep by with a kiss. In traditional folklore, cats were said to have one foot in this world and one in the next. And suddenly, it was like a spell. My daughter Cass, she's like, Mom, will you paint me a picture of me with a black cat? I'm like, sure, yeah, okay. But this is way before we had any black cats. And I never did actually paint that picture that she asked me for, but I was looking at black cats. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, black cats started to appearing in our neighborhood. And we think they came from a portal in our backyard, a time travel portal. And then they just started having babies and more black cats and more black cats. And, well, 2 of them became mine, Pumpkin and Kiki, and they were children from these descended black cats that came through the portal. So, yeah, it's a true story. So, anyway, and speaking of time travel and time, these cats, you know, they're like a conduit between the underworld and this world and fortune and opportunity, and I feel like time. In the times of the Inquisition, the Middle Ages, cats were hunted because they were said to be allies of evil entities such as devils and witches. Black cats, black being associated with the darker aspects of the supernatural, were especially singled out. Historians believe this unprecedented killing of the cats in the name of eradicating evil led to an unchecked increase in the rat population, which was responsible for the alarming rapid spread of the bubonic plague and the death of millions of people. That's why. That's what happened. Because of the cats. Because shunning the cats. See what happens when you shun someone? So these days, in Germany, for example, a black cat passing one's path indicates impending misfortune, but in ancient Britain they were considered good luck and were given to the brides on their wedding day. In Japan, they're considered very good luck too and bringers of fortune. So I believe they're lucky, and since Pumpkin's been in my life and Kiki's been in my life, I've been having a lot more blessings come my way, and she's very protective of me. And after my walk today, she gave me a big hug, and then I started to think maybe she's trying to dry me off, because she got soaked in my sweat just trying to like keep me warm, and she really is very protective of me. It's very interesting. So should the slinky black cat cross your path through this oracle, know that good luck and fortune will be meeting you promptly. Also know that your luck will be even luckier if you have a black cat, if you are prepared to take advantage of every special opportunity that comes your way. All right, so you can see me a little bit. Next, we're going to get some cards from the Season of the Witch, Samhain. Very beautiful oracle. Very, I think it's the very first one that they created, and it's got a lot of magic in it because of it. It's got this very nice metallic red edge. Ruby red, blood red. I'm going to take from the top. We have pumpkin, like my kitty. All right, so the pumpkin is very lucky. It's also about abundance and fortune. Let's see. Uncaging. I'm gonna need my other glasses. Uncaging. I went down a prescription here, and then so now I have two sets of glasses. One that's sort of sees far away and close up at the same time, and then the other one that only sees close up. Encaging the spirit within, thou the fertile power you hold to taste your buttery velvet upon tongue is a gift I shall cherish each day that comes. Nice. I cherish the things that I taste with my tongue. Yes. Well, I cherish those moments of taste. So pumpkin. Oh, I'll just put my hand right there. Pumpkin is about protection, fertility, and prosperity. Pumpkins have been a tradition for Samhain for hundreds and hundreds of years. Jack-o'-lanterns were carved to scare away the ghosts and goblins that were said to roam the streets of Samhain. Carving jack-o'-lanterns originally began with a variety of root vegetables, from turnips to potatoes. Pumpkins became the preferred method for abundance of space for carving, and there was always plenty left over to fashion into dinner and desserts and even drinks. The pumpkin is more than a scarce tool for the witch, however. It is a symbol of protection, fertility, and abundance. The pumpkin represents the power of the womb, so it's no surprise that its color corresponds with the color of the sacral chakra, and its size is a symbol of prosperity and having enough to go around. So the pumpkin is yours today, and it's here because you are protected and safe from harm. There is a presence around you keeping the scary things away from your front door. You can rest easy knowing that your back is guarded. This card also means taking some steps to keep, what is we keeping? Negative people out of your life. You may need to reduce the amount of time you spend in some relationships or set firm boundaries. Doing so will allow you to put your energy where it is needed most. And what I love about this particular card, it comes with a recipe. So this is a spiced pumpkin cake. I'm going to show you, and you can follow along. 1 cup of butter, softened, 1.5 cup of sugar, 1.5 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 4 large eggs, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of pureed pumpkin, canned or fresh, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1/2 cup of chopped nuts, and then you preheat the oven 350, lightly butter and flour a 9 by 13 inch baking pan, beat together the butter, sugar, and pumpkin spice, etc. Add eggs, do all of that, add a little thyme to the butter, and that mixture, mix in the nuts if you're using it, then spread that mixture, bake for 30 to 35 minutes, and of course when it's done, that you can pull out a toothpick, and there you go, there's a little frosting recipe too. And anyway, it's a really adorable recipe. If you like it, I recommend, researching the Seasons of the Witch recipes, or just find your own. But pumpkin pie, any kind of pumpkin dish, pumpkin spice pumpkin cake, or whatever you make will be something that is a lovely, nice treat for you. I'm going to shuffle some Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. Let's see what the tarot has to say about October for you. I'm gonna have to go ask the TV watchers to turn it down. But we have, the 7 of Potions. Very nice, 7 of Potions. And we have the 10 of Needles, 10 of Swords. No worries with the 10 of Swords. Ooh, you got the star, so you don't have to worry about the 10 of Swords because you got the star here. And you've got Justice, all fair things coming to you. And you have the 4 of Candles. All right. The 7 of Potions can sometimes represent illusions, but in this case, it's got a more positive message. It's about daydreaming and dreaming in general. And because dreaming can be a very strong act of manifestation. So let your mind wander a little bit. Let your mind go on an adventure. It helps you to explore, your desires and wishes, and helps you to form an objective and a goal. And where do you want those ideas to go? Where do you want them to take you? Visualization is one of the greatest manifestation tools. So visualize your best life and then put real action behind making those visions a reality. You don't have to do a lot, just take one step. If you want to be an astronaut or whatever, you might want to first study something about space, but anything that's a step in the right direction is helpful. So we have the 10 of Needles, 10 of Needles, 10 of Swords, and it sometimes can seem like it's a painful situation, or that it's the end of something, or that you might not be able to get over it. But I feel like there's a chance that there's a kind of a clearing up of the issues finally. Endings don't always have to be sad or bad. In fact, they can be quite a relief. And when something ends, it doesn't always have to be at a time where you were wanting to hold on. Sometimes it ends when you were very much ready to let go of something. Like when you take out the trash on, your trash day or whatever, it feels like such a relief. You had it sitting there, was piled up, and the guys come, and now you have an empty trash can, and it feels good in a way. It feels like, it feels like a breath of fresh air, like when you're sweeping and you're throwing dust away. So kind of think of this kind of ending more something that you didn't want to hold on to. You didn't. Maybe, you may have to convince yourself or talk to yourself about it a little bit. But I think for most people, this is something that naturally you didn't want. So fresh beginnings are ahead. Also, if you need time to grieve, or if you need to just sit in your feelings, sit in those feelings. But for the most part, I think this is a good kind of letting go. Because you got the Star card, and the Star card doesn't come out to say things are going bad for you. The Star card saying your hopes and wishes are coming true. Like this is leaving room for something really good, like really, really what you wanted, not sort of half-heartedly, like a half kind of situation, whether it's love or career or whatever, or a little bit of money. It's the same thing. It's like if you decided to take an offer on some kind of job that gave you a little money, but you're really hoping for the other one. This is saying, yeah, you can let that go, the one that you didn't really want, because this one is coming. And the Star is it's the faith, trust, and pixie dust card. It's like, if you have, faith in something that you can't see, trust is surrendering to the universe that how it's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to happen. You just surrender the how. I mean, you can put some effort into it, certainly, but it's a co-creation kind of thing. So half of that energy, or more than half, depending on how much you need to put into it and how much you need to let go and let God. But a lot of that energy is just the universe's energy providing for you. So this kind of newfound clarity is coming through. The beautiful part of faith, trust, and pixie dust is the pixie dust is sort of a magical moment, a serendipitous event, something fun and unexpected, something thrilling, a miracle, things like that. And this is when all feels lost, hope arrives. It's like Zero's glowing jack-o'-lantern nose, and the Star will light your way and guide you forward. Now is the time to look to the skies and dream. I see another dream card. And the Star is here to illuminate the visionary in you and let go of self-doubt and the things that are weighing you down, because inspiration is ready to carry you to new heights. So that's really lovely. And I feel like with Justice here, you're going to get exactly what you've been wishing for and what you've been putting the work into. In other words, it's like you will get what you have given, or things will be balanced. It also feels like wins in your favor, but it's kind of like it's fairness. It's like, how when things happen, we're like, gosh, life is unfair. I worked so hard to get this promotion, and they gave it to somebody who's kissing butt or whatever. But this Justice is saying, no, it's not going to go to those people undeserving. It's going to go to you because you're deserving. And same way with love and other things. Justice to me for love can't be marriage. Justice can also be a reciprocity that you never had before. Like, you put so much into a relationship and don't get the same thing in return. This is saying, finally, you're going to get the relationship that you've been dreaming of, that kind of person that gives you what you deserve, the person who dotes on you, who spoils you, who treats you with respect, who treats you with dignity and honor, and who's amazed by you and loves you and adores you and is there for you and shows up for you and hears you and sees you, all those things that you've been wishing for. The one who's chivalrous and who's magnanimous, all of those kinds of things. So I feel like that is a very strong possibility here. So it hurts a lot less when you let go of the thing that was so and this amazing new thing comes to you, right? So Justice is is about the residents of Halloween Town came together during a town meeting to discuss important events and decisions. Ooh, and speaking of the residents of Halloween Town, I am part of a board. Some of you might be like that, or PTA or something like that. So there could be some important meetings coming up for you. But the good news is an honorable solution is coming through. A just situation. Due course, accountability, and fairness. And truth is coming out. Maybe it can be painful, but it's also very refreshing at times, right? And very helpful and it's like this freeing energy. So it's decisions, it's great outcomes, it's you know when you say the phrase this or something better for the good of all, that's what this card is. This is like the final part of the manifestation. It's like maybe you had to wait a little bit for the good of all part, but the good of all is right here. This is for you and everybody else. It's a fair situation. It's for the good of all. So, Mr. Four of Candles, what are you doing here? What can the Four of Candles say to us? Oh, it's a celebration. Yay! The Four of Candles. There's a party. So this meeting could turn into a party too. And people are recognizing your accomplishments, and you're feeling stable and secure and comfortable. And so it's time to feel proud of yourself and enjoy the attention, and to stick with the work that you've been doing. You do have to clean up the party favors and everything. Oh, this is so perfect for me. I'm having so many celebrations this month because of Oktoberfest and my club that I belong to. And so if any of this resonates with you, then congratulations. You're going to have a very productive and happy month. So now let's get some charms. A little bit harder with these nails. Okay. There, my arm bone needs to straighten out. Okay, let's see what we got. Got a lot. So, we have she, feel, and be. We have the rider, which means a message coming through. We have the airplane, could be some traveling, or even if it's not physical traveling, it could be spiritual traveling, or imagination, or dreaming, or planning what you want to do next, or where you want to go next. Who's this guy? Is that Saint Joseph? It's Saint Thomas of Aquinas. Saint Thomas, I feel like he is the patron saint of cooks. Let me check my handy dandy. Saint Thomas. Oh, he's for schools and teachers. Again, there could be a PTA kind of situation here, or something where you're dealing with. Yeah, something dealing with businesses, schools, things like that. Oh, look, you got the. This is the Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust charm, if I can get it out with these nails. It's been a minute since I had these extra long ones here. All right. We got things stuck together. That's it. Okay. All it takes is faith, trust, and pixie dust with the little fairy. And that's Tinkerbell. That saying comes from Peter Pan. And if you want to know anything about it, just ask me in the comment section, and I'll tell you all about it. You've got a key to anything here, opens anything. You have a bicycle that shows you kind of the perspective on how things move. Sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly. Just depends on your perspective. And then you have your ancestors are here. You have lots of music. The number 22. Oh, you have... Okay, is this St. Thomas? Yes. And you have weights, lifting weights, and you have keys to everything. Keys to your car, keys to your house. this could represent too, like janitors and jailers, you know. But there's a lot of power in having keys and being able to open and close. Oh my God, I was just given the keys to my building. I felt so excited. It's like the power. Now I can open and close things. You know. So it's nice. And it's access. It's being allowed in something. And you have the sewing machine representing happy work. The fleur-de-lis could represent friend. You know, I still haven't really got the best idea for the fleur-de-lis. Somebody, if you have any idea what we can signify the fleur-de-lis, I've always just said something French. We have the picnic basket. That always makes me think of dates and being out in a meadow and eating things from a picnic basket. That's my dream date. And then you have the rocking chair, which talks about waiting. And you have the heart, love, and the I guess that's a cello. It's a deep and beautiful voice, a speaking voice too, and music. And you have caviar. So, I mean, like really living the good life and having plenty and abundance. And the number 5 here as well. And the cross. The cross is prayers answered. Plain and simple. And that's faith right there because of your faith. All right? So, I hope you like that. And if you like that, give it a thumbs up. Like my thumbs up. And but you definitely can go to another pile if you want to. To jump around piles, you just go down there in the description box and then use the chapters button. It's so super easy, and you jump around. Also, if you go in the comments and you can leave a comment, sometimes you can swipe on the comments and like boost my video. Now, it's a new thing, and I don't know how many people have it, but if you have this thing, that you don't have to pay to do that. Just do that, and you would be like giving me a lot of money if you did that. You know what I mean? It's like a donation without having to give me any money. So I would appreciate it if you tried that. If you did, that's great. If not, that's okay too. Just you being here makes me happy. And thank you for those of you who support me in other kinds of ways. But even if you don't, I appreciate you being here. And I'll see you at the next pile. And you picked pile number 2 with Sally. Sally, she's so cute. She's a good person, or doll, or whatever. But anyway, she has a good soul to her. Kind-hearted. Really, Jack couldn't have done it without her. Always good woman behind these guys, right? Sally, good job, Sally. All right, so you chose the Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. And then your surprise card is, ooh, scrying like my crystal ball. Creating through the ashes. Skull of Flowers. So, Skull of Flowers, here we go. Maybe I should do it like this. There. To blossom and bloom, the work must be done. Through fire and ashes, our fortune it comes. Before flowers are born, they are sweet buds on a plant that came from a smaller form of a seed or a bulb. And the seed then needs to be prepared, nourishing soil to grow to its potential. And some plants and trees only seed after fire or a period of extreme adversity like drought or flood. Sometimes we wish for a life different from the one that we have. And that can mean radical change. Sometimes to have a new life, everything falls apart to make it so, and that can be uncomfortable. That's a tower moment. We may lose our relationships, or they may change. We might lose a job, have to move house, or become ill. All big events that lead to a reassessment of how of our lives. The Skull of Flowers illustrates that there is a sureness and yet a rawness to creating again, to starting afresh. Sometimes the universe gives us a blank slate to work from so that we can build what we really want rather than just settling for less. And really ties into pile number 1. If you came from pile number 1, look, this is your extended message. If you didn't, you might want to go back to pile 1 and see what I'm talking about. But sometimes, you know, the skull of flowers celebrates not just a kind of phoenix energy, but an energy of success and full bloom through adversity. And that phoenix energy often makes me think of Scorpio and how Scorpios reinvent themselves over and over again, and sometimes because they have no choice to. But this is the month, you know, the end of the month. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Libras and Scorpios, if you have a birthday this month. And what happens is this reinvention can be it's almost like an extreme leveling up, like you're just reaching new heights that you ever thought you could before. And that means having to shut one situation down so you can. Now, some of the things you can bring over, transfer over, and move up with your friends or family, whatever, but there's some people that don't fit into that next phase in your life sometimes, you know, and there's some places and some events, and so that's always going to be hard to let go. It is hard to let go, but there are times where the thought of it, like in pile 1, it suddenly feels really good, because this new thing coming into your life is so much better, so much more exciting and interesting and up-leveling and fulfilling. So so now let's look into scrying. Scrying is a great meditation tool, and it's also great for predictions too, so it's something you might like to try. Soften your eyes, begin the trance. While whole worlds are opened, begin the dance. Scrying is a divination technique of seeing unconscious images or images from the divine or supernatural appear upon or within a surface. People scry into a crystal ball, a black mirror, water, even the surface of ice, ceilings, walls, curtains. I don't know. I've scryed clouds. I've scryed lots of things. It is a very ancient technique and one traditionally enacted on Halloween. The keys to effective scrying are being as relaxed as possible, minimizing possible distractions, softening your gaze, and allowing. And when they mean softening, it's like you're not looking at anything, you're kind of looking past it. So it's sort of like, it's like if you look at the ball, then instead of looking at the ball, find some point past the ball, like maybe the fan, but maybe not the fan because it's moving, but maybe like that little light right there, and then you soften your eyes and you're not like really looking at it anymore, and then suddenly the images appear. So this is a very good way to relax, and a really good way to help you realize that the world is so magical. Like, there's the eyes, what you see, and then there's something more, like there's auras and the things that you didn't even realize were there, that are there, magic out there. And so sometimes it's definitely important to not be distracted and to have too many lights or music or sound on. If you're doing it outside, settle into the environment, listen to all the noises, like it's an orchestra. But also, it's like white noise where you don't even hear it. It's also vitally important to settle the mind as much as you can. If you regularly meditate, you may wish to use these techniques, or otherwise you can simply just shut your eyes and focus on slowing your breath. This is usually very effective anyway. So you have If you have a specific question for this scrying medium, state it up front. Then once you feel relaxed, turn your focus inwards. Imagine pulling your energy within you, and then focus on the third eye, the chakra in the center of your forehead, just above the eyebrows. And imagine opening it. And then gaze in a soft, unfocused way at your scrying surface. And then simply allow images to form and observe what presents itself to you. Do not engage your rational mind. This is about receiving and not thinking. Should you pull the scrying card, and you did, the spirit would like you to try scrying for starters. And it could develop a language between you and spirit and help your intuition grow even further. And it's helping you not to just rely on the logical part of your mind for answers, but on the part of your mind that is connected to the divine. Because true wisdom takes a balance of logic and imagination and intuition for true wisdom. And so when I've tried it different times. One of the times that was really interesting is that when I stared at it, it seemed like clouds came into it, and then I saw a shape of like a silhouette, like a profile of a lady, like a bride actually. And I thought that was really neat. And I don't know what the significance was at the time. I don't remember exactly, but there's lots of reasons why we'll see the things that we see. Similar to our dreams, sometimes we can pick up on the word of that, and then the word can kind of create a message, a saying. But sometimes just the image does too. So that's a fun way to meditate and to get into your intuition, into that mindset. Yeah. All right, so next we're going to pull a card from the beautiful Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle, the Halloween deck. I think this is the first one that I made. It's a beautiful red. Alright, I'm going to take one from the top. And we got the black cats. And speaking of black cats, Pumpkin is here tonight, and she is quietly observant, listening in. I'm going to pick her up and see if she'll mind saying hi to everybody. Alright, Pumpkin says hello. Hello, everyone. Yes, the kittens are not here in pile number 2. They got kicked out. She's happy about that. All right, Pumpkin. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my familiar and always watching over me. She I came in from my walk and I was all sweaty, and she got really up on my chest, and it was almost like she was drying me off, I think. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Alright, so the black cat. There's a curious journey into the depths of the unknown, hidden so deeply that only the brave will gracefully return with light in their eyes and shadow leading home. Oh yes, black cats. Interesting story about them. And if it's funny because the black cat came out in pile number 1 as well, so definitely feel like you're connected. The message or the keywords are independence, survival, and grace. Hello. Hello, cat. Hello, Pumpkin. Cats with 9 lives. Cats are graceful creatures. Reviling the snobbiest of humans. They are fiercely independent and value their time and space above all things. They are aloof yet love affection, and they put their health and well-being above all other things. Cats are also mysterious. They are the symbol of empowerment and setting boundaries, two qualities which every witch needs to be successful in her craft. No wonder cats are a favorite among a witch's familiars, like me. When the black cat comes purring into your reading, you are being asked to find your independence. Grab some me time, and so that you can find your footing again. It's easy to get lost in the chaos when you have a lot going on. Taking a step back to see the bigger picture is the best way to get some fresh ideas about where to go next, how to solve a problem, or how to get out of a funk. Remember, me time doesn't have to be dramatic. Having a 20-minute coffee break at your local coffee shop can be just as rewarding as an all-day staycation. When it comes to me time, choose quality over quantity always. The black cat asks you to learn the power of saying no, like they do. We all have to set boundaries and rules. We cannot expect others to know what is okay or not okay without some guidance, nor can we expect others to know when we have too much on our plates. It's okay to say no. This isn't a selfish act, and it doesn't mean you don't care. It's a sign of self-respect, and it will help in the long term. Those in your immediate circle. So you cannot give what you don't have. Which kind of makes me think of Libras out there. So happy birthday, Libras and Scorpios in October. Libras are quite the givers, and sometimes say yes a little bit too much. I think it's a trait, and have trouble with saying no. And so I would say it's important to try to find that, definitely let people know when you can and you can't do things. You can still say it in a nice way. It's just, be sure that you stick with it and stick with your decision, whatever that may be. All right, so let's get a little tarot now. We got the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. Whatever comes out. Pile 1 got a lot of cards, so either a lot or a little or somewhere in between is okay with me. Let's see if I can shuffle with these fingernails. All right, good enough. Here we go. Pumpkin, what are you doing? Getting a closer, better vantage point. You have Death, so it's definitely a letting go kind of card, and change. It's and it feels kind of like a good feeling, like when you clear a room. Like, for instance, my daughter moved and she had to clean out her room and keep some things, but throw a lot of things away. That feels so good. And move into her new space. And that kind of is what the Death card can do for you. It's like clearing out stuff to move into a new space. But we'll see how it connects to the other cards. It feels like interesting because pile 1 also had some endings in it too, and this is definitely the month of October can be Scorpio season, can be the season for endings, but they definitely can happen anytime. I know that. But an ending, closing time. I'm hearing a song. Every new beginning is somebody else's end, and it's kind of like the door closed and the windows open, and every beginning every end is a beginning. Every end is actually a beginning. And the deck that I'm making, the Death card is Birth. Well, that's it. Just death. That's no. Pumpkin's getting into it over there, onto the shelf. I guess I'm going to have to cut the cards and take from the top. I'll take a couple more. Ooh, you got potions. 2 of Cups. That's love. See, similar message. Like I didn't necessarily see love in pile 1, but there, that possibility of one love going out and a new love coming in. And Ace of Presents. Nice. And King of Needles. Okay. So the King of Needles could be an air sign person. Could be somebody new coming through, or a better version of the person that you knew. Maybe this time they're giving you presents, you know, after I'm hearing the word doghouse, you know, when you've done something that you weren't supposed to do, and then you're in the doghouse, and then you say I'm sorry, and you give your girlfriend or your wife flowers or something like that. It feels like that, like a present. So let's take them one at a time. So death is sometimes it's a scary, it seems like a scary card. It's feared, of course, but it's just misunderstood. It's just represents transformation and transitions and beginnings and endings, and like, you know, those gates in Halloween Town Cemetery, the death card is a spooky symbol of change and transformation. So the month of October should be one of those kinds of months of transitions and transformations and positive change, and it's important to embrace it because it will lead to bigger and better things. I think the thing that makes change or the death card difficult is when things happen suddenly. Sometimes it's sudden and that's harsh, but 2 is when you resist it, then that hurts you more than helps you. So it's important to try to go with the signs of the universe is giving you for this new thing that's coming through that's way better. So like I was saying in pile 1, you know, sometimes there's a new energy that's like more abundant, more giving, more generous, more magnanimous, more chivalrous, you know, treats you like a queen, a princess, you know, treats you way better. Or maybe there's a person coming through that their love language is gift giving with the Ace of Pentacles or Ace of Presents here. So 2 of Potions. This is just simply about being in complete harmony with yourself, with your partner, with somebody coming through, but also like the times where people pop into our lives is when we don't expect them at all, right? Because usually it's during a time where we're feeling fine just by ourselves, and we're like, oh, well, do I even want this person in my life? But you might consider yes, because it's like all the fun things that you've been doing for yourself, they're enhanced when you can talk about them with somebody else, or you can enjoy it and the experience with somebody else and see them light up, or some of them get excited too. And be interested in how you feel about it and your opinions and your ideas and thoughts. So it's sort of like, you know, it multiplies your good vibe when you're with somebody else. This person does. You know, there are those that bring you down, you know, and where it's better to be by yourself, because then that person just is toxic and negative, brings you down, doesn't seem to get excited about anything that you do or anything else. You don't even try anything together. You definitely don't, you know, that kind of energy could be what's you're letting go and leaving behind. So thank goodness, right? And if you're moving into this one, which is not like necessarily like in pile one, we saw reciprocity, like you equally exchanging the same kind of energy. This is more like whatever you did by yourself is amplified now because this person's in your life. So like they're a good energy in your life. And you're in complete harmony with somebody special. And it can also have to do with work-related relationships as well. But romance is strong here, and friendship too. And everything just feels really positive. And just stay supportive of each other. And the connection has major growth potential. And so, yeah, I'm feeling like Ace of Presents. Maybe this person, like I said, gift giving. They've got something for you. They're like, okay, hey, all right. I'm hearing some scenarios where somebody walked away and they're coming back and they're like, okay, I'm sorry for how I behaved. I got you something, and then you have to decide whether you want to take them back. But it could also be this person is a gift in your life, like just having them in your life makes your life better. So Ace of Presents shows great things are coming your way. It could be a new job, a gift, an unexpected money windfall, but whatever it is, enjoy this, take advantage of the new opportunities that appear because everything is ready for success. And then Mr. King of Needles. King of Needles is air sign, so it could represent Gemini, Libra, and happy birthday Libras, right? So it could be Libra or Aquarius. And the King of Needles is smart. I mean, that's the first thing you're going to notice about them. Smart. You're so smart. This could also be a person that has a rising sign that's air. I have a rising in Libra, okay, because I'm smart now. But that's not why I thought of it. But I thought, oh yeah, I know a lot of people who have rising signs in air signs that are also very smart. And so the King of Needles has brains and logic and determination, and he's deeply respected, but sometimes people don't think they can get along with him because they just take him for his appearance, which sometimes can seem kind of cold or cool, It could be like he's a cool dude, But sometimes because they're so good with their mind, they know how to use their mind. But I think this person will be somebody that you'll enjoy talking to about things, whether it's business or love. Like, when you experience things together, you'll be able to discuss it intellectually, which is, for a lot of people, is exciting. Not everybody, but I like it. But, it's like having somebody that you can like bounce your ideas off is really feels nice. Also, don't assume that this person doesn't have feelings that run deep, because I know a lot of Aquarians out there, like they're very cool as a cucumber, but they're very soft-hearted and full of love. So just, sometimes it takes a little while for people to warm up and get in touch with their softer side or their love language. So maybe that's why the way they show it to you is through gifts initially, and then you might be able to see some of the other ways of love. But at least a gift to them represents, kind of like, hey, I like you, or an atonement, or you deserve this, and much more. I got this really cool card today that said, I just want to spoil you. So this could represent this really cool dude that wants to spoil you, and maybe you never had it before, or maybe this is somebody who's going to treat you just differently now. It's like, I wasn't so nice before, but now I'm going to take good care of you. I'm going to spoil you. So it could be something like that. And and put yourself where you see yourself. You know, you could be the King of Needles. You could be getting gifts if you're the King of Needles, or if you're not, or whatever. This could be the person in your life, or you, however you want to see yourself. Because just because it's a king doesn't mean that it can't be for the females, because masculine and feminine and male, female, not always the same thing. It's interchangeable. And not just because of sexual orientation or anything, but because we have both the masculine and feminine in us. And a lot of times one is stronger than the other, and in moments, and sometimes in general, one is stronger than the other. So you can think of it like that. Also, the king doesn't necessarily represent man. It also represents the highest stature of all the court cards. So this is a very high stature person, somebody who is, you know, this could be, you know, somebody who's in a wheelchair maybe, but it doesn't have to be. Somebody who is like an entrepreneur, or a leader of some kind, or a boss, but somebody who has power, or who has influence, or who has a high level, who's sort of high ranking. And they're usually pretty good looking. You know, we're using the the Nightmare Before Christmas deck, so we're not going to see that aspect of it, but just simply put that higher energy person usually has a lot going on for them, physically and spiritually too. All right, so let's now see what your charms have to say. Okay, let's see what we got. Well, you got coffee. Maybe going out going out for coffee with someone. That sounds like a fun idea to me. I like that. That's a nice. I also I read that a good first date, or any date, a coffee date is good, because warm things create more attraction. And if you like go out for ice cream or something cold, then it could keep there. I don't know, something about the energy about warm things. So eating a warm meal, like a bowl of soup or something like that, is better than a salad when you first meet somebody. So, or coffee in lieu of ice cream on the first date. All right, so then we have the potion. And with all these potion in this deck represents cups, so it definitely feels like love. It feels like it could be, you know, imbibing, enjoying company, trying new drinks together, something like that too. This could be somebody that just has like all the same likes that you do, like intellectually, y'all just blah 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 blah. You just can go on and talk and enjoy things, you know. And then somebody that maybe has the same favorite drinks as you do, whatever, like coffee. You like a certain kind of coffee, you like a certain kind of, you like to drink your coffee a certain way, or you like lattes, it's the same kind of latte, whatever it is, you know, could be like a lot of things in common. All right, and I it's funny because I wasn't going to do just love, but love always seems to be very prominent, especially during Libra season. So we have the single fairy, and when the single fairy comes out, it means single no more. So just if that resonates or not, this fairy is no longer going to stay single. And we have bicycle. The bicycle represents perspective. Sometimes it seems fast, sometimes it seems slow. Just depends on what you're comparing it to, you know. Yeah, just don't go with your first. Just because it's a bicycle doesn't mean that it's slow. Like compare it to somebody walking, then it seems pretty fast. So we have, oh, look at that. We've got a sun and a moon, a yin-yang energy here. Somebody who completes you really nicely. You're feeling brave. That's good. We have the Taj Mahal, so like locations, destinations. You've got the doggy, which is like, it can represent your pet, but it can also represent soulmates and best friends and that kind of energy. And we have the deer. I feel like this little deer, you know, deers are interesting to watch. They're like born, and then they get up and they start running, and it's like such a quick advancement. I'm feeling maybe a strong and quick advancement for you, and also kind of like spirit animal, like a soft and tender energy as well. And then we have the lady dragon, the lady CEO dragon. So for I always designate this one as the lady dragon, and then there's another one that represents the masculine. And so that to me means like really doing well in business this month and leveling up and being kind of like your own boss and taking care of things and handling things and doing a great job. The ruby represents something sturdy, solid, a good foundation, because rubies used to be buried underneath buildings as a good luck kind of charm for that building to have longevity, to last a long time. So there's kind of like this longevity, sturdy energy here. And you know, that's really good once you've cleaned the slate. This could also be like finding a piece of land too, like an empty lot, you know, or something like that. Sometimes death card doesn't always have to be just so really literal. It can be very symbolic, and I like to look at the images often. Now, cemetery, you know, could be something that you go do in this season, the Halloween season. Visit cemeteries can be kind of exciting, and they have really cool tours in New Orleans that might be some, you know, like a destination thing that you would want to try. So yeah. So I guess that's about it. And if you like, check out the other piles. You might be connected. I feel very connected to pile 1 here. It could be one big story, all 3 piles, or at least, you know, one or the other piles out there could be for you. But you don't have to do that. You can stick with just this one, and that be it. And I hope you like that. A thumbs up if you like that. Feel free to comment below in that little comment section. Instead of making a comment, I think there's like a slider. I don't know if it appears for everybody. You might want to check for me. And if you slide it over, then there's this place where you can just like boost the video. So if you could do that, that would be really cool, just so I can get out there. It's just like you know, it helps the algorithm, and I've had sort of like things that go against the algorithm lately. So if you can help boost out the algorithm, that would be so nice of you. Thank you. And so thank you all who support the channel, no matter how you do, even if it's just visiting, but subscribers and members too. Appreciate you so much. And so I'll see y'all at the next pile. And here is pile number 3 with the little ghost. What's his name again? Zero. 0 is that I should remember, because that is Pluto number. It's Scorpio's number too, so that's kind of an interesting thing right there. All right, and you chose 0 is a very powerful number. You write 1,000, you add a 0 to it at the end, and suddenly it's 10,000. But also anything times 0 is 0, so it's like mysteriously powerful number this 0 is. So you got the skull of light is what you chose, illumination, and then your mystery card is yes, eternal love. Love is love, and it transcends physical death. We just had the death card in pile number 2. I feel like some of you out there, if you watch all 3 piles, you're watching a really big story here. Some of you out there can mix and, you know, match, you know, just go down into the into the description box and the chapters, and you can choose what chapter you want to watch and in what order. But I would say so far, if you're, you know, it feels like it could be a 3-chapter book here. Watch the whole thing. I mean, if you don't have anything else to do, or sometimes you could just listen to it. All right, so skull of light. I think this is my favorite skull. I love skulls. I love skeletons. I've always been very interested in skeletons for some reason. Skull of Light. We can stay in the dark, exist only in the midnight hours, but shining the torch, the victory is ours. As the famous psychotherapist Jung suggested, knowing our own darknesses helps us to cope with the darknesses of others. Taking the time to know thyself and to seek understanding of our more destructive or shadow natures can lead to huge happinesses and less anxiety. The idea of being shown the way in the most difficult of times and always knowing that we are never alone in the darkness are the keys to this magical element. Light is usually a comforting thing, yet sometimes we do not really want to see the boogeyman under the bed. It is too scary, too big, and we know not how to defeat it. Yet, by simply shining the torch upon such darkness, the victory is ours. Should the skull of light enter your life, know that it is time to open yourself fully to the clarity of bright illumination. I think that, I'm sorry, but that boogeyman, sometimes it is more your mind than it is a thing. Have you ever noticed, this has happened to me a lot, like at night, I'll see something, I'll be freaked out, like, what the heck is that? And in the daytime, I'll walk over and it's like, oh, it was just a leaf or something like that. Like, I even do this though without the lights on. Like, I looked outside, I was like, oh no, the hawk is dead in the yard. But it wasn't a hawk, it was just a log that was in the yard. It just had like, the log had like ridges just as similar to the feathers of the hawk. But why did I go there? Why did I think that the hawk got killed somehow? I don't know. But anyway, so a lot has to do with your mind. And so it's important to dive into that shadow so you understand yourself. And this skull of light is saying that know that it's time to open yourself fully to the clarity of bright illumination. Allow yourself to be seen, to see and to act upon what is shown to you. The time has passed for hiding, for pretending, and for swallowing your discomfort by accepting the status quo when it really doesn't suit us. Ooh, status quo. Yeah. And again, it kind of ties in with the other messages. Of letting go if something doesn't suit you, but you have to discern that for yourself. And the eternal love, of course, is eternal. So this one seems like the real deal. Love is love is love is love, and it trends physical death. When the body leaves us and our souls are above our possessions no longer, nothing remains but the intertwining of love. All of us are the product of millennia of love. And this, by the way, is making me think very much that we're in Libra season, even though at the end of the month it's Halloween and Scorpio season. But we, that love energy pours through these readings no matter what I do. I'm always getting a very strong love energy. Maybe because I'm the romantic fairy, I don't know. But yeah, and if you need any more, if you need to know any more about that, definitely reach out to me. So our parents, our ancestors by blood and ritual all have in some way created this DNA that weaves through our bodies. Love, in fact, powers life and death. When most of us first encounter death in our lives, we experience grieving too. And in some ways, that feeling could be described as an absence of love and the absence that person or being. But the kind of love that is often shared between family members, friends, and lovers, separated only by physical death, is the kind that poets wax lyrical about, and that is truly eternal and transcends death. If this card comes out and it's here because it's trying to remind you that love is the most powerful force in the universe. It's more powerful than death itself. Love lingers. It leaves its own legacy, and we should be aware of this every day that we live. For those that are ready for and desiring of a partner, it also indicates that a significant love is close at hand and to be ready to open up to this new experience. So, yeah, it's powerful. It can mean both things, and it can mean both things. It could mean that there could be, if you're a widow, you could be, it's not like you're losing a love. The love is always there. You didn't lose that. It's always there. The person's not even gone. It's only the physical manifestation of the person, but the person's soul is out there always, and you're always connected. And I feel like maybe there is a message here, especially those of you who are watching all 3 chapters, that after death the soul goes on, but life on earth can continue too. So there could be a new love in your life. And this can mean a lot of different things. October and Halloween is the time to celebrate, the ones who have passed away, or celebrate or give honor to our ancestors. And maybe even if it's not like a lover that you lost, it could have been, anybody in your family, and just mourning and grieving the loss of a family member could have kept you out of the whole dating world, like you just didn't have time for that. You just couldn't, it was too painful to deal with the loss in your family, so you couldn't feel like you could open your heart for love. So I think that's another message here, no matter what kind of losses you had now, it sounds like now's the time that things can open up for you. And so I feel that, but for a lot of people, there is a very strong love coming through, that one that you've known in many lifetimes. And we have multiple soulmates. There may only be one twin flame, but there's multiple soulmates. And we've known different people in different lifetimes for many lifetimes. And it's so nice to meet them again, And this time it could be, a completely wonderful, healing, beautiful. It's like everything is right in this world. Everything falls into place finally in this world, where it was more complicated in other lifetimes. So another message for the eternal love, that person, that soul that you knew many lifetimes ago is finally here again, and now the conditions are more ideal to be together. And I feel like that could be it for you. And this feels like the ending of the book right here. It's like, okay, the end, close. No, but I'm going to talk a little bit more. Let's see if the love comes through. But I didn't expect all of this. I really was going to do just a love reading. That's so funny. And then I was like, no, I better talk about finances too. And well, let's look at the seasons of the witch. Let's see what comes out. And we have nature spirits. Nature spirit, on your toes, twirl and twirl until you're ready to take flight. They arrive in the wind beneath your wings and speak through the swaying of the trees. This reminds me, I have the cutest little figurine of a fairy witch, a fairy with wings and a witch's hat, which feels so representative of me, but I don't know where it went. I remember I put it out every year for Halloween, and then I think last Halloween I'm just gonna leave this out because this is me all year long. But now I think it might have got kicked around and lost by the cats. Sounds like something that they would do. All right. Well, nature spirit. Nature spirit is... I got a cough. This one's all about the fairies and sacred and playfulness. So nature spirits are fun, silly little things who enjoy laughter and a bit of mischief. They are connected to the freedom of expression and know that life is meant to be enjoyed, even among the chaos. The sacredness of nature spirits is not generally acknowledged. The world of the Fae has existed alongside the human world for millennia. Our Celtic ancestors saw and believed in fairies. To them, fairies played a role in a bigger world than what meets the eye. They are a reminder of all the things that are priceless in this life, and that often magic is missing in everyday life. And if you feel connected to this nature spirit, then it could be that you have overlooked details in your daily grind. There are small things in your life that are sacred but have not been given their proper space. And this could be family members or project in your home. It could be yourself. When was the last time that you felt genuine joy and had a big belly laugh or felt truly loved and supported? You're being asked to be mindful of the simple little things in your life. And these little things are calling you despite, or they're very desperate for your attention. They are a reminder that life is good and that small things in life make the world go round. I've been seeing the fairies a lot more lately, and don't forget the fairies. The fairies are trying to say, hey, we're here. And they're very much like angels. They're very helpful. They can give aid, and they can give positive energy too. And you know what I noticed in this pile? I didn't have any indication of black cats, but my cats see the fairies, and I'm gonna see if Pumpkin wants to say hi. Let me go find her. She's right behind me, actually. There she is. I should have called her Fairy. Oh, she's mad. She was so comfortable in her little perch. Now her tail is twitching. Okay, that's it. Alright, well, let's get some tarot. Pumpkin was definitely not happy with me. She was happiest in pile 2, but not now. I thought she was going to tell you a fairy story. Let's see if the tarot tells us any stories, a fairy tale. She's happy to be in here during the reading, though. She's giving me the energy. She just doesn't like to be pushed around. Who does, right? And guess what? This is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. It's so fun. Ooh, look, it's like a fairy. It's a butterfly, the Ace of Potions. How nice. And you have the Six of Presents. Wow. Some presents coming through. And you have the Two of Needles. That looks like hard work or just work. And you have the moon. There's Jack Skellington. It's like the happily ever after. Well, the true happily ever after is the one where he's with Sally. So who joins him in the end? Up there on that perch? Sally does. The end. Okay, let me tell you all about what's going on here. So with the Ace of Potions, we have this physical, material, elixir. This is Cups energy, and Cups is love and emotions, and this could be like a new love, or it could represent some kind of special stirring of love, or feeling inspired or creative or intuitive. Somebody special is entering your life. We know this now. And I think it because I'm just going to say yes because it's happened twice. And also, like, if you already are in a relationship, that's great. It's just some kind of special uplifting energy for this month in your love life. But if you are single, this is definitely somebody important and new. And a soulmate of sorts. Yeah, a soulmate from way long ago. And this person is like it could be even a really good new friend too for some of you. And things are happening just as they should. So stay curious, pay attention, and enjoy the moment. You know, definitely go to places that you're invited to. Enjoy being out and about. Let's see what the like Six of Presents. Ooh, this love language energy is coming back again. That was in pile 1, so y'all might want to watch all 3 piles. I highly recommend it. So Six of Presents is definitely a reciprocity, and it's gift giving. And you know how Halloween is all about treats and excitement and joy and celebrations and decorations, but the Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of like alluding to Christmas time too. And I think this season does allude to more to come, you know, in December, later this year. So let your loved ones know how much you appreciate them. It's time to give others the credit they deserve for helping you get where you are today. And generosity will bring you even more success. And I feel like it could be that there's a person too that's appreciating you even more than ever before. So it could be somebody for some of you, it could be somebody that you know that's appreciating you in a new way. And the Two of Needles is talking about things that you're thinking about, like weighing back and forth. And instead of like being stuck on, you know, going back and forth, you're letting your intuition guide you. It turns into more of a Justice card, where it's like a love is blind kind of energy, but it's not so much. It's like letting love be your guide more than anything, more than the thoughts, more than your logic, more than the intellect. You're letting your intuition guide you stronger. And so not the physical sight, but the third eye, the intuitive sight. But you know, you definitely have to feel confident in your choice. And that seems like a very Libra thing to do. And this is Libra season, and I probably have said it, but if I haven't, happy birthday to Libras and Scorpios. And Libra will weigh things back and forth for quite a while until they finally make a decision. But it's a very short decision, and they never waver again once they've made the decision. So I think that's a handy thing to use. This kind of like give lots of chance to either side and think it through before you make a very solid decision. But you'll know that once you do, that you made the right choice. And it feels really good. It feels nice. So then it's like the moon feels like a little bit of taking a risk and seeing if this person will meet you there, possibly at the moon, meet you halfway. And so the moonlight illuminates Jack on the graveyard as he reflects on his feelings. The moon represents a great lament. It's a beautiful song too. The subconscious and the intuition. This is analyzing a situation, and that's kind of what this is too, kind of going back and forth, thinking things really through. But it's definitely more about the heart. And there's sort of this longing here, you know, when he does this, there's a longing here that comes from the heart. It goes beyond, it is a little bit of lack mentality in a way, like not, and the whole story has to do with appreciating what you have and not always reaching for something that you don't have. But through the process, he ends up with Sally, who was sort of his guide all along, and he was not self-aware enough and maybe too self-centered to see her, to see that. And then he sees her and he sees the big picture. Finally, everything makes sense because she was there to help guide him the whole time. So it's a really sweet love story too. It's this journey that he goes through, and it's a love story at the same time. And I'm so happy that I got to do that. This card came out at the very end with these guys. And we had the ghost dog when we talked a lot about death and passed on people, and you know, it's pretty serendipitous. So yeah, just listen to your instincts. They know the truth. And the truth will lead you to your perfect person if you're not already with them, or it will lead you to the fact that you realize you are with your perfect person. The Lover's card represents supportive, healthy, magical connection, and the lovers fit together like Jack and Sally, and they're meant to be. And so you're about to create a meaningful friendship, connection, or relationship that will enrich your life. And these connections are the foundation of honesty and mutual respect. All those things that I was mentioning in pile 1, so go back and watch that. There's also an element of choice too in the lovers. So again, with the whole choice thing and deciding things, but also positive decision, you know, a sure decision, the right thing is happening. And it's not, like I said, don't go too much in your head and go crazy and weigh it back and forth for too long. Let it sink into your heart and decide with your heart. The end. Thank you all for coming. No, I'm going to do your charms now. All right, so let's do charms. Alrighty, let's see what we got. We have, let's straighten my bones out here. You got good show, special good show. Somebody performing, if you are, it's going to be specially good. But it's also like showing up, somebody, it's like, this also feels like it could be a performance, like a solo or something like that too. But yeah, good show. And also it's good, it's like good to see you, like you're seeing somebody too. And you got the hearts, which is also autism awareness. And you've got the world, World Wide Web, connecting with people. You have the fairy, the single fairy who is going to find her match. And you also have the Lady CEO dragon. And that means building an enterprise and creating a massive amounts of wealth. And music is here, and divine timing with Cogsworth, the clock. That's what I call this one. And also this feeling like, have I met you before? Like somebody that you've known in a past life, again with the past life energy coming through. And ebony and ivory like go together in perfect harmony here. Whether they be friends, whether it's friendship or lovers, it feels like more than that. Like you may find other people, like this may be a month where you're finding lots of different connections that seem to you get along with really well. And look, you've got a Cinderella carriage, so a magical night, a magical moment. Oh my goodness, you guys, I got goosebumps. You got the fortune cookie, and you have the beautiful little mermaid, so you're like beautiful inside and out, and an amazing communicator. And the cog, this is like the missing piece of the clock or the bicycle. It fixes it. And guess what? You know why this is special? When you get the fortune cookie, you get a special reading, fortune. It's very rare when that fortune cookie comes out, but whenever it does, you get a fortune cookie reading. Let's see. What does your fortune cookie say? Whoa. Ooh! Sounds sexy. Things will heat up. I feel like this is about sex. And these two also kind of came out. Master a craft and you will gain confidence. Very nice. So for work, it looks good too. And for the bedroom, it looks good as well. It could be also heat up, could represent like maybe competition, you know, but in a good way. But I feel like it's a sexy sign. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you liked that. Thumbs up if you liked it. And feel free to comment below. And in that comment section, if you swipe over, there's also this choice to boost the video. So that would be really good. And it's free to do. And it would help me a lot if you did that. I mean, subscribing is great. Being a member is even greater. And thank you so much to my members out there. Appreciate you so much. We have such fun times on Tuesdays and Fridays when I go live. Anyone is invited, but the members come out a lot during those nights to play with their badges and send me stickers and things like that, because you get free badges and emojis when you become a member. So that's a place where you can have fun with them. And anyway, thank you so much for watching this, especially if you watched all 3 piles. That's a big effort, but I appreciate you, and thank you everyone for being here for the channel and for this reading. Until next time, faith, trust, and pixie dust.